Hey everyone, welcome to Tea Time with Bev. Alright, so for today I just want to come on here and talk to you about my Southwestern Advantage, summer internship that I did. Now, they used to be called Southwestern Company, but they ended up changing it, so they're now known as Southwestern Advantage. Now this video is mainly targeted for college students because Southwestern Advantage, they mainly recruit college students. They'll go to college, university campuses, and then they will recruit students. So I want to share my experience with you so that if you do decide to go with this company, to work with them, to intern there for this summer, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, because they will not tell you everything. They will not let you know exactly what you're getting yourself into until you get there. All right, so I'm gonna share my experience with you, and then I'm also gonna share some positives and some negatives and what I think like the company can do to really, if possible, get better. Now, with that being said, I honestly thought that they would have gone out of business by now because of like the working conditions that they put students in, but apparently they're still in business. So I know a lot of universities have banned them from their campuses, but they still go anyway to recruit students. So with that being said, let me go ahead and start. I initially heard about Southwestern back in 2009. So I had just completed my freshman year, and it was a summer before I got I went into my sophomore year. So before this before the school year was over, I saw a flyer on campus for Southwestern Company, and they were talking about the summer internship, and pretty much was like these awesome, like you get to travel, you get to meet new people, build experience, make a lot of money. So I was reading all these, and I'm like, wow, this sounds great, this sounds amazing. So I ran and told Quinta, because Quinta and I went to the same university. So, I ran and told Quinta, and I was like, Quint, you have to come and check this out. There's this flyer for this awesome summer internship. So, she came and she checked it out. She was like, oh my God, this sounds interesting. I think, we should attend the info meeting, because, they had a meeting on that campus later on that week. So we decided to attend, and oh my goodness, we were sold. We were sold on it. They told you, they tell you that you're going to be going, you're going to be traveling, going to all these awesome places. You get to meet tons of people. If you work hard, you're going to make a lot of money. Like all these positive, great things. And I was like, wow, this sounds good. And, you can put on your resume and it looks good if you work for this company. So that's what they were telling us. So we decided to join. And we have to meet with a manager. So they're like managers that, that manager for our particular team, she was the one who came to our campus to recruit students. And her name was Jessica. And so she, told us that she wants to meet with us one-on-one to talk. So I met with her one-on-one, and then she, pretty much so that if she will give you the job or not, So I met one-on-one with her, and I talked to her, and she was like, she thinks that I would do really, really great, with this job, that she really has high hopes for me. She thinks I will excel because of my personality and how I am with people, so she thinks I'll do good. So she was like, you got this internship, we can't wait to start working with you. So I was excited. Quinta also got it. So we were both recruited. So, they told us that, we all have to meet at Nashville, Tennessee. That is where the main company is at, Nashville, Tennessee. So me and Quinta, because I did not drive. I had my license, but I did not drive. So Quinta was the one who had a car. So we both drove all the way to Nashville, Tennessee. And there was a lot of students. There were a lot of people from all over the U.S. And there were even some students who were from Europe. There were other students from abroad who had come. So we were like super excited, like, wow, like this is going to be great. The company is very beautiful company, very nice, fancy office. So we were like, okay. So it's like a week-long training. It's a week-long training, and then they'll give you pretty much details. But right from off the bat, me and Quinta were like, wait, something is off. Like, first of all, you're not really fed. Like, you have to pretty much like provide your own meals. First of all, your own meals. So we were eating like crackers and cheese, and like they don't really feed you. We were staying at this hotel, and I think the hotel that we stayed in, which we had to pay for, by the way, the company does not cover for that. I think they serve some sort of like breakfast in the morning, and then after that you're on your own. You have to find a way to provide your own meal. You have to provide for yourself. So we were like, oh, okay. And then they were telling us that, you know, you have to work at least like 13 hours a week, Monday to Saturday. Sundays are for like meetups where we regroup, so all the team we meet. So they're telling all these, and they don't pay you. It's not an hourly pay, by the way. It's you are hired as an independent contractor, so you are responsible for yourself. Okay, the company is not responsible for you. They do not give any benefit. So I was like, this does not sound appealing at all. Like, we were really like, it was like, you know, you're really excited for something, and then, you know, you have really high anticipation for it, and then you're like, wait, what? I'm gonna be doing what? You know? And pretty much, you know, you're gonna be selling books pretty much door to door. You're selling books door to door. And Quinta and I were like, you know, contemplating, should we leave? But it's like, we've driven all the way from Ohio, from Toledo, Ohio, to Nashville, Tennessee. Like, come on, we spend money on gas, and we're not reimbursed for the gas money, by the way. So it's like, there's like, we can't like quit. And, you know, for the company, they make you like, they really boost you up. They boost you up like, you know, you can't quit, you can't fail, you don't want to be known as a quitter, you know, as long as you work hard and you do exactly what we tell you, follow this, because, you know, they have scripts, they have like this thing, you're supposed to memorize these notes, you're supposed to memorize, and if you memorize these notes, you're going to be successful, and you work hard, you know, you do what they tell you to do, you're going to be successful. That's what they told us. So we were like, okay, fine. Sorry, it is really hot. But they were like, you know, so let's go give this a shot. So they from Nashville, Tennessee is where everybody meets up. But then they will go ahead and send different teams to different states. Okay, different teams to different states. So my team, we were placed in Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa. That's where we were placed, Des Moines, Iowa. So we went there, and there was a family that were very kind, and they allowed us to stay with them. I was told that some people aren't so lucky with placements, but we were very lucky, and we got a very beautiful, lovely home. So my manager, the person who recruited me from campus, and there were 4 other girls. And by the way, they separated me and Quinta. So if you're friends and you come together, or you're siblings and you come together, they separate you. They separate you because they don't want, so just in case, let's say one person decides to leave, they won't try to talk the other person into leaving with them. So that's why they separate friends and separate siblings and stuff. So it was me and 4 other girls. All of them were from my from the University of Toledo. Like, we all were from the University of Toledo though. So we were placed in this house, and we have to wake up 6 a.m. 6 a.m. in the morning. You have to get ready, you know, take a quick bath, get ready, and then we have to meet at a local breakfast spot. So it was 5 of us. So the 4 girls plus our manager, Jessica, and we all meet in one spot for breakfast. Like, they really emphasize on breakfast, on eating a huge breakfast, because that's probably the only meal you're gonna have that day. Okay, that's the biggest meal you're gonna have that day. So they really stress on breakfast. So we will meet there, we'll eat breakfast. They will, like, you know, like pump you up with encouraging words and stuff, and then I was dropped off at a particular location in Des Moines. Now the area that I was given to sell books door to door. Now mind you, I kept this sample right here. I kept this sample from Southwestern, and this is one of the samples. And this one is for the high school, like middle school, high schoolers, and then they had softwares for pre-K, kindergarteners, middle, like they have different high school software for high school students. So they have that and other stuff that, you know, they teach you how to you know, make sales on them. So pretty much simple. You just go knock, and once they drop me off, because by 7:30 we're done with breakfast. 7:30, 7:40 we're done with breakfast. It's been a long time, so I'm trying to recall. But by 8 o'clock, by 8 a.m., you're out in the neighborhoods, you know, going door to door, selling, you know, trying to sell these books and software and other stuff that they had. So that was that. And I was placed in a very, very wealthy upper class area in Des Moines. I mean, they were filthy rich. I'm talking about huge mansions, okay? That was the area that I was placed in. And the people that I had encountered with, a lot of them had a very nasty attitude. They were so mean, very, very rude, very racist. I'm just gonna put that out there. They were very, very racist. For some odd reason, I don't know why this happened to me, but from the get-go, I had a bad experience from the get-go. When I went to, you know, meet with, you know, I knocked on the door, the lady let me in, and she was like, oh, you know, she's seen me like walking around. And then she was like, when I told her about Southwestern, she said, oh, but I thought you're part of a charity organization to raise money for starving children in Africa. And I was like, you know, what gave you that impression? Because I'm not part of no charity organization in Africa. I'm just, you know, working with Southwestern, and this is what I'm doing. And she was like, oh, because I guess the previous month they had a church group or some sort of organization come to the area, and their goal was to raise money, you know, like to get donations for starving children in Africa. So she thought I was part of that organization. And I told her, no, I'm not. And long story, she kept asking me all these questions, like where I'm from, blah, blah, blah. And I, you know, I told her, but, and, you know, she, finally when I got to, you know, going over my script and, you know, telling her my sales pitch, she did not order. She did not order and, or place any order. So I went to a different area. Mind you, it turned out the same lady who I talked to had called other families and told them that I'm part of a charity organization to raise money for starving children in Africa. I don't know, maybe because I looked the part, you know, I'm a skinny little black girl walking around the neighborhoods. Maybe they assume, oh, she's part of this organization to raise money for starving children in Africa. So in every family that I went to, they were like, oh, we were told that you're part of this organization to raise. I was like, no, I'm part of Southwestern. Like, it became so redundant. I did make a few sales in that area. I did, but I did not. I got the cops call on me numerous times. Oh my goodness, it was so bad. I remember one lady that I went and knocked on her door. She came out and was like, if I don't leave, she's gonna have her dog eat me. And she literally had her dog come out and chase me. So that was that. I had the cops call on me several times. Because I remember one time it was raining. And mind you, like I said, I didn't have a car. So I was literally walking. Everywhere I go, I was walking. So So it was raining, and I remember I took shelter in front of one of that houses. I don't know if you call it a house, more like a mansion. I took shelter in front of one of the homes because it was raining, and the owners called the cops on me, and the cop came. I talked to them and I told them, you know, I'm part of Southwestern, and this is what I'm doing. He was like, do you have a permit? And I didn't know what no permit. I was like, no, I don't have no permit. He was like, you know, he advises me to go ahead and get a permit, and maybe that will help me out. So this cop was kind enough to take me to where they do the permits and stuff. So I was able to get a solicitor's permit, and thanks to the cop I was able to get one. And then I came back to the area. No difference, it was not good. So, you know, I was telling my manager, you know, Jessica, the one who recruited me, I was telling her my experience, like, you know, these people are not very, they're not good. Like, and she was like, oh, every neighborhood is like that. You're gonna meet people like that. Just keep working hard. Keep, you know, trying your best. Eventually, you're gonna make sales. Eventually, you're gonna do well. Like, you can do it, Beverly. Like, you know, that, you know, she pumped me up with some encouraging words. But you guys, it just got worse and worse and worse. It got to a point where I was getting the cops called on, like, every day, to the point where I even knew the cops. Like, they would literally come. They're like, oh, you again? And I'm like, yeah. Hey, but I had a solicitor's permit, so they couldn't do nothing about me. Just tell me, like, you know, be careful and stuff, because the people that live here, they're really angry with you. They don't want you here. So he was like telling me to be like, you know, extremely careful, because he thought with the way they're so angry, they might try to do something to me, you know. So by this time it's been like a little over a month, and I've made very few sales, very few sales. I have only sold like a few softwares and a few of the children book, like for the kindergarten, you know, and I had some samples for like the kindergarten books, but I gave it to my little sister, so I can't show you that. I only had this big one right here for the high schoolers. So yeah, so that was that. And then the cop advised me, so I went back and I talked to my manager, and I was like, look, this is not working. It's been a little over a month, and things have not improved. Things have not gotten any better. And mind you, I'm working from 8 a.m. in the morning to 9 a.m. From 8 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m. at night. 8 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m. at night. Knocking on doors. Some people don't even let you in. You know what I mean? So that was what I was doing every day from Monday to Saturday. Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. And for Sundays, you would think, because, you know, initially they were like, oh, you get to get a break on Sunday. No, you don't. On Sundays, we have to go for a meeting. So all of us who were in the Des Moines area, we will all meet. Right? I think maybe the whole of Iowa, I'm not sure. But we will all meet together, and that's when we will, like, they will encourage you, you know, they will talk about the experience. They will have some really experienced, those who have been part of Southwestern for like years, they will come and give you like a pep talk and encourage you, share some of their experience with us. And then after that, they will have like an activity. So by the time we got back home, it was late, okay? It was like 6. And you're pretty much exhausted, you know? So that was that. And it was like that every single time. Eventually, my manager, Jessica, was like, okay, you know what? Things aren't getting better. Things are getting worse. Let us remove you from this area in Des Moines and move you to another area. I'm like, duh, that's what I've been trying to tell you from day one, that this area is just not working. These snobby rich people is just not working. So she moved me to a more of a middle class area. It was like mixture of middle class, lower class neighborhood area in Des Moines. And you guys, I went from like down here and my sales went up. I did really well. And I met a lot of black people compared to the upper class rich area that I was. This new area that I was in had a bit more black people They had I met a lot of Ghanaians. I met a lot of families from Sierra Leone. So I sold quite a lot of books, you know, and software within that area. However, you make more money with these books. This is where the money was. And I forgot how much we sold this for. But it was like over $300, I think, for these. No, it was more than that. It was more than $300. I'm trying to remember. It was a lot of money for this, but this is where the money is. If you sold a lot of these books, you're good. You are good. However, I was selling more of like the kindergarten books and the pre-K books. I was selling a lot more of those versus that. So the manager was trying to encourage me, like, Bev, you know, you're making sales, but you're not hitting that high mark. You need to sell more of the bigger books, and you know, in order to be able to hit that mark, if you want to, because you know, if you sell a certain amount of books, the reward is like a vacation somewhere, maybe the Bahamas or something like that. But if you sold a certain number of books, that's where they will take you, you know. So I wasn't hitting that mark. I wasn't meeting that mark because I was mostly selling the children's book, which was not as expensive. But like I said, the area that I was in, the people could really afford the smaller children. They couldn't really afford the bigger books. Like I remember, I think I sold about four sets of the bigger books. I did not sell as much of the children's book. I did not sell as much as the, you know, high schoolers book. I sold most of the children's books. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that was what was happening. But at least I was making sales. Eventually, I found out that Quinta was leaving. She had it. Because it was hard, you guys. Like I said, you meet all types of people. All types of people. You meet the most sweetest, most kind, most generous people. Oh my goodness. People who will take the shirt off their back and give it to you if they had to. You meet those type of people. And then you will also meet the most rude, most obnoxious, mean-spirited, stiff-necked people ever. Like, oh my goodness, I met some mean people. So yeah, so there was like a different range. So I think Quinta had enough, and I'm like, well, you know, that's my ride home because I came with her. So I'm like, I have to leave with her, you know. And my manager was like, you know, she talked me out of it. She was like, no, Beverly, you can't leave. You know, you're starting to do well. You're starting off kind of rough, but now your sales are going up. You're starting to do really well. You can't quit. You know, you're not a quitter. You're not a failure. You need to stay in. But I'm like, well, that's my ride home. Like, what am I? She was like, don't worry. We're going to get you a car. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, we're going to get you a car. And literally, this lady helped me get a car. I was able to purchase my first car in Iowa. It was a 1988 Buick LeSabre. I'm going to go ahead and put a picture of it. And I'll put a picture of it so you can see it. My car's name was Sally. Yes, it was my first car, Sally. It was like the best car ever until somebody stole it. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I had that car for like 3 years. 3 years, a little over 3 years before it got stolen. But Sally was an awesome car. So thank you, Jessica, for that. And I got it for a really good deal. So I was able to get a car. But before that, oh, I almost forgot to tell you. Before that, I was riding a bicycle. Because like I said, I was walking door to door. So the family that I had been living with, they were like, oh, you know, maybe it would be helpful if you get a bicycle. So they helped me like get a bicycle, like buy a bicycle. Now the thing was, I didn't really know how to ride a bicycle. So I'm like, okay, I now have to learn how to ride a bicycle. So literally I will be in the neighborhood with the bicycle, falling all over the place because I didn't know how to ride the bicycle. But eventually you know your girl. I learned how to ride the bicycle and I was like cruising down the street, but it was a struggle and I got a lot of injuries, a lot of scars on my legs from falling off that bike. But I eventually learned how to ride that bike, and then I upgraded from the bike to a car. So now they no longer had to drop me off. Now I had to, I could actually drive to the different locations and all of that. And but then, you know how I mentioned that you are an independent contractor, so you are responsible for all your expenses and stuff. You know, so I had to pretty much pay for my own food, pay for everything. You're doing everything yourself. You're covering all expenses yourself. The company does not help you with that. You're on your own with that. So the car came with other responsibility. And like I said, it's a very old car, 1988. So there was some, you know, struggles there. So that was that. And another thing too was, let's see, I lost my train of thought. One of the girls in our house, the house that we were staying in, she could not take it anymore, so she decided to leave. So mind you, we started off with 5 Southwestern people. One of them our manager and 4 girls, right? One of the girls was moved to a different location, and so was left with us 3 girls plus our manager. And then another of the girls decided to leave. She decided to quit. She could not do this any longer. You guys, they treated her so badly just because she said she wanted to leave. They were so mean to her, and they pretty much shunned her. And like I said, this company, some people get into it and they are very successful. They claim to make over $10,000 within like their first month or so. You know, they claim to make a lot of money and they're very successful. But that to me is rare. It is rare. Not everybody is successful when they get, you know, with sales. You know, with sales. Some people are very successful, others are not, and it's not for everyone. So she was like, you know, she can't do it. She can't do it. You know, she wanted to leave and go back home. And like I said, they made her feel like she was like the most insignificant, pathetic thing ever. Just because she felt like, you know, this is not for her. And I didn't like the way they treated her. You know what I mean? Because it's not by force, first of all. And first of all, this company's, what benefits are they giving you? They're not giving any benefits. You're pretty much working for them for free. Let's be real. It's free labor. They're pretty much just using us. You know what I mean? Without really having to do anything for us. We're just selling books for them for free. Okay? And then we're getting a commission based off of what you sell. You get a percentage of it back. But it's not a high percentage. So if you make sales and you are very successful, great. If you don't, you're at a loss. The company only gained, all right? Based on whatever it is that is sold, they only gain. And you're the one who pretty much, the one who can lose is you. So if she felt like this is not for me, I want to quit, I didn't see anything wrong with that. Because it's not for everyone. And that day that she was leaving, everybody ignored her. I was talking to her. My manager was trying to tell me to, like, you know, ignore her and, you know, stay away from her. But my thing is, to me, I thought of her as a friend. So I'm not just going to ignore her just because she wants to go home, or treat her badly just because she wants to go home and quit. And, you know, they told her that, you know, she's a quitter, she's a failure. This same girl, we follow each other on Facebook. She is very successful right now in what she does. So her experience, her bad experience with Southwestern did not define her future. She became successful in the area that she was good at. Okay? So if you are in this program and you're not doing well, don't let them make you feel like you are like worthless just because you did not excel and do well. And they will do that. They're really good at, I don't know, they're really good at messing with your mind. They're really good at messing with your mind. Okay, so don't let them do that. Okay, just because you're not good with sales doesn't mean you're not going to be successful in a different area. Sales is not for everybody. I'm going to emphasize on this. So with that being said, that was pretty much my experience. And like I said, I did meet some great people who, you know, I kept in contact with. I no longer keep in contact with them now, as of now, but I did keep in contact with them. Like, you know, we follow each other on Facebook and stuff. But, so I got into the accident. On our way back to Nashville, you guys, it was pouring rain. I couldn't see anything. And like my car just, cause like I said, it was a very old car. It just went, I don't even know what happened. It just, the steering wheel became loose. It became so loose, I couldn't work with it, and it just went right over. And you know, God is so good. Like, God was with me the whole time I was doing this summer internship. God really protected me and watched over me, because when the tow truck came to pull me out, because I was literally in a ditch like this. I was inside that ditch like this. The tow truck came, pulled me out, and there was not even a scratch on my car. My airbag did not go off. I was not hurt. I was not injured. Nothing. You know, he pulled me out. I was perfectly fine. I sparked the car and I continued on my way. So that was what happened. But yo, the leaders were so mean. Like, they were so mean and rude. Like, I just got into an accident coming over here, and they're talking about, why are you delayed? You should have blah, blah, blah. This is da, da, da. They were just so, like, I was just, had it up to here. Had it up to here with these people. Like, I know this job was very, very stressful. So, and due to the high level of stress and the pressure that comes with this job, it brings the worst out of people, in my opinion. Because towards the end, they were literally like trying to snap each other's necks off. If you didn't do well, or, you know, make it to the where you qualified for the vacation, they treated you like you were insignificant. They treated you like, oh. Like, literally the whole time when we went back to Nashville to wrap everything up, you know, because it was the summer vacation was over, no one even talked to me. They only focused more on those who were very successful, who had made it to the point where they qualified for the vacation. They only focus on those people. And for those who did not meet that mark, you were just, that's how they treated you, like crap. So, you know, I returned the rest of the books, because they always give you extra just in case, you know, while you're delivering books, because, you know, whatever you sold to the families, you later on have to deliver those books back to the family. Like, the company will ship you the books to deliver. So they do hold their word on that. But they always give you extra so that in case you want to sell those extra books, you can do it. You know, so I returned those books that I wasn't able to sell back. And yeah, and then I went on my way back to Toledo. My overall thoughts, you know what, instead of even saying that, I'm just going to go over the positives and the negatives, like I said, about my experience. And then I'll share my thoughts with you. So for the negatives, I would say is that you have to work at least 13 hours per day. They say you make your own schedule, you're your own boss. That's not really true, okay? You can't afford to work 4 hours a day or 8 hours a day. And your manager will be on your neck, breathing down on your neck if you even try to do that. Like, they will pressure you to go above and beyond, okay? So you work 13 hours per day, Monday to Saturday. You don't get a break. And even on Sundays that you can use that time to rest, recover, or whatever, they're having you go to some meeting, you're doing these activities, and all you want to do I just want to stay at home and rest. But no, they have it going like, you know, it's always one thing after another. So that was, to me personally, that was a negative, okay? And another negative is that there are no benefits. You don't get no health insurance, no benefits. If something happened to you, you're on your own. the company is not responsible for you. Okay, so that was another negative. Another thing is being misled. Like I said, initially what they told us while we were on campus is not what happened while we were actually out there. And I feel like if that they've been open and honest with us from the get-go, like, this is what you're going to be experiencing, this is what you're going to be going through, me and Quinta would not have signed up for it. We would not have signed up for it at all had they been open and honest. So I feel like that is also a negative. So be careful, because what they tell you when you go out in the field is a whole nother story. Another thing too is that you don't get paid overtime. So even though you're working more than 8 hours a day, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Another thing too is that sometimes you can find yourself in very dangerous situations. I had my fair share. Like I said, I got chased by dogs. I met with some really crazy people. And you know, by the grace of God, nothing bad happened to me. If I was in an area where I thought it was not safe, I'm not gonna go there and sell books. I use my head, okay? So be careful. Another thing too, I don't know if they changed things, but back then in 2009, they would encourage you to leave your phone at home. Don't bring your phone with you when you're in the field, because it's gonna be a distraction. What? I was like, heck to the no. I'm taking my phone with me. I am a female in a city where I don't know nobody, and you want me to leave my phone at home? If something is to happen to me, then what? I don't have a way to call now. No, I took my phone with me. So if you decide that you want to go join this company or work for this company, I advise you, don't leave your phone at home. Take your phone with you, okay? Because you never know, okay? So another thing too is that, like I said, you have to cover your own expenses. I was spending my own money. Most of the time I was spending my own money for gas, for food, for everything that I did. I spent my own money, and in the end, it was more of a loss than a gain. It was, like I said, I did not make that much. I would have made more in my personal experience had I worked like a minimum wage paying job. There's some people, like I said, there's some people who claim to make a lot of money, but the majority don't. And that is the truth. Okay, the company will try to make, oh, you did not work hard, that's why you didn't make a lot of money. You did not work hard, that's why you were not successful. That is a lie. If you can work hard, I knew people who were working hard. I would run into them in the community, and they didn't make that mark. They did not make that mark. So don't let them fool you. You're gonna make a lot of money if you do this. No, okay? Go find yourself a good hourly paying job and leave it at that. At least you know you're gaining something. Let's see, even foreign interns. Yeah, another thing too is foreign interns. Those coming from abroad, from Europe, they're paying their own expenses, covering their own expenses. So that was another thing. The pressure from the managers, the leaders, they will pressure you. And the way they will treat you, they treated people really poorly. Okay, I witnessed people being treated really, really poorly. Like I said, I got into an accident with my car on my way back. No one even asked me, oh, Bev, are you okay? Are you okay? Is everything all right? None of that. No one asked me. Said they were going in on me because I arrived at the location late. Even though I told them I had an accident, they were just focused on the fact that I came late. So that tells you how much they care about those working for them. Another thing too is housing is not guaranteed, and they will tell you that. Like I said, in my situation, I got lucky, so they were able to provide a lodging for us, but you have to pay the people from your own pocket to stay with them. So that's another thing. The positives was that you get to meet new people. Like I said, you get to meet new people, you get to make friends and all that. For me, all those people who I met, like I said, I kept in touch with them for some time, but I'm no longer in touch with them as of now. So I've lost touch with them. But a lot of them are still, we still follow each other on Facebook. So it's very adventurous. Like, I'm a very adventurous person, so I like that part of this job, is the adventure. It's like you're in a new place. I personally like that, where you learn new things, meeting new people. I personally like that about the job. And personal growth. You do learn a lot about yourself. Oh my goodness. You really know what you're made of when you go out in this field. It really pushes you. And like I said, you get to learn more about who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses while you're out in the field. So I like that about it. Another thing too that I like is that you learn a lot about people. Through this internship, this job, I got to meet all manner of people. Like I said, from the most racist, most nastiest people you can think of, to the most nice, generous, kind-hearted people. Okay? It was like one extreme to another extreme. I remember one time, I was so thirsty. I was hungry, but I was trying to like meet a certain goal for myself that I had set for myself. So I was like not taking a break. This man, I don't know whether he was watching me from his house or something while I was, doing my runs, but he ran out of his house, gave me $50 and a bottle of water. And he was like, here, here, just take it. Go get yourself some food to eat. And I was like, what? Just out of nowhere, this man just came in. So there were some really kind people. And there were some people who would try to have their dog eat you. So you meet all types of people. What can make this company better? I feel like, and they receive a ton of backlash, a ton of criticism. That's why I'm surprised that they're still in business till today. But they do have some alumni in like high places. I think one of the alumni is like a congresswoman or something. So I think maybe due to those connections, they're not gonna go out that easily. But I think they should do an hourly pay. Yeah, pay the people who are working for you. Because to me, honestly, it's free labor. This company is using students. That's my personal opinion. They are using students, okay? And to me, I feel like they should stop trying to hide behind that whole independent contractor thing and start paying the students who are working for them. Pay them by the hour, okay? Even if they have to pay them minimum wage, they should pay them by the hour, and they should also pay them overtime. For those who are putting, a lot of work, they should pay them overtime. They should provide benefits, especially health insurance, because while you're out there in the hot sun, all kinds of things can happen. Like I said, I got lucky by God's grace. Nothing bad happened to me, but I feel like they should at least provide that insurance for their students who are working for them. And also reduce the number of hours worked to make it at least 8 hours a day. At least 8 hours a day. And then if you choose to work overtime, they should pay you for that. So that's my thought. Will I recommend this company? No, I wouldn't. Because after that experience, I made up my mind never to go again. And I won't recommend it for anyone I know. I would not work it, because it was, in the end, even the money that I forgot how much I made. But it was not that much to the point where I was like, oh my goodness, let me go back. I made $30,000 this 3 months. No, I did not make that amount. It was less than 1,000. I think it was like 700. I forgot how much I made, but it was not enough. I feel like I could have made more had I gotten a 9-to-5 job and worked that summer. I would have made more. So that is my opinion. It's not worth it. Southwestern is not worth it. If you have it in you, like I said, there's some people who are very successful. They go out there and they kill it. And they do really, really well. I did relatively well. I did not quit. I stayed the whole entire summer till, it was over and we all went back to our various, states. But it was not worth it. In my opinion, it was not worth it, especially the way they treated people. I didn't like the way they treated the students that are working for them, especially if somebody wanted to quit and leave. The way they treated that person so badly, just because the person is like, this is not for me. They made you out to be you're a quitter, you're a failure. If you quit this, it's going to be hard for you to do other jobs in the future. You're probably going to be failing at everything else you do. If you're able to stick it out and, you know, endure the hardship, endure everything you go through, then you'll be able to do any other job. That is a blatant lie. That is a lie. Okay, so that's the thing I didn't like, is how like they're able to like get into your mind and manipulate you into believing that. So I didn't really like that part about it. But if you know, want to join this company, I shared my experience with you, what I went through, so that at least if you decide to go, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Okay, and you will not be blindsided by anything. You'll be prepared. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was informative, and I will see you next time in my next video. All right, bye-bye.